Hey guys, welcome to the shop. Got a quick project today. I've been making these wine bottle glasses for quite some time, and today I'm going to show you how I do that. Right now on the bench we have a few bottles. Here's the setup we're going to score them with and turn these into glasses. Alright, first step we're going to do is remove the label. Just a standard razor blade scraper. The metal is softer than the glass, but still sharp enough to remove the label. So we're not going to harm the glass by doing that. And the reason we want to remove the label is we need to get a nice, even, and consistent score all the way around the bottle. This is the jig I built for cutting the bottles. I'm using some casters to spin the bottle. I have a glass cutting tool. I drilled and screwed it to this board. There is a bolt with a captured nut that allows me to take this in and out, as well as to adjust it in this way. There is some adjustment back here, but most of the adjustment is done on this little plate. And that allows me to adjust how, between the two, I can adjust how big or small I want the cup to be. The trick with this is to get a nice, light, and even score. Sometimes it's a little trickier with the label goo. Okay, there we go. Again, the point is not to cut through the glass with this, but just to provide a nice, even score. The less chipping there is, the smoother the break. While the water heats up, I'm going to try and score a few more. These are some really goofy ones. I'm very doubtful I'll get any of these to turn out. I've noticed that the glass on some of these is not the same as the glass on others. Some seem to score a lot better than others. Again, I'm just taking a nice light cut, going back and forth, trying to make a very consistent, shallow score mark all the way around. This is a cool bottle. It has some textures on it. It'd be really nice if it turned out. I give it about a 30% chance of working. I've not had good luck with this style. Oddly, that glass scored really nicely though. I just boiled some water. Let's go ahead and try to crack the glass. Okay, now for the tricky part. I find that, generally speaking, if you can get a gabapentin bottle from your local drug dealer, that works great. This plastic doesn't seem to deform under heat. We'll add some boiling water to it, not too much, and dunk the bottle in so it gets as submerged as we can, and we wait. We're going to try to heat that glass up as hot as we reasonably can. We'll wait a few seconds, probably 15 to 20. And now I have a bucket with some ice water, or in this case snow water because it's winter in the UP. And we're going to drop it in and spin it. The reason I'm spinning it is it allows a quicker heat transfer, and if we're lucky, yes, see how that line is more evident? That means it popped, and just like that. Nice clean break. You can see that one did not work. Wow. Haha, yeah, perfect. I think these thicker bottles take longer to heat up. Wow, just perfect. That is fantastic. I really thought all these thick bottles would fail, but all three of them cracked the best out of everything. That's amazing. This is pretty average results. I started with 8 bottles and now I'm down to 6. Of the 6 remaining bottles, 2 of them need a little work. This one right here, there's a little jaggy we need to sand down. And on this one, I just practiced off camera to refine my technique. Let me go show you how I fix this problem. These 4-inch diamond polishing pads are available online. I believe a set goes for right around $20. The 2 grits that I'm going to use are the 200 and the 50. The 50 is the one I'll use first, and that is to flatten the rim of the cup. The 200 can then be used to grind down the sharp edge. This setup is a 55-gallon polyethylene drum that I have cut. I've made a notch here, and then also this kind of provides some shielding so I don't get soaking wet. I have a plastic container, and this is a 4-inch polisher. This one is made by Viver. It was under $100. This is the setup that I use for polishing rocks. My kids and I will cut geodes and nodules in half and then flat polish them. I plan to make a video on that soon. It's a fairly accessible hobby and it produces really nice results. Here you can see the lip on the glass. We're going to grind that down. Now, if you try to use sandpaper on a random orbital, you will see some little glowing spots on the glass, almost like a spark, and it will chip. The reason is sandpaper is friable, meaning it will fragment, and the little pieces of grit that come off of there will get stuck between the pad and the glass. And as they tumble and roll, they will crack and chip the glass. These diamond pads retain the abrasive, they don't shed it, or at least they don't shed it very quickly, and they're lubricated with water. This cuts much faster without the risk of chipping. Something else cool about these pads is if you do not have a polisher but have a random orbital sander, these are Velcro back. They will stick to the random orbital. I have not tried that. I have a polisher and this seems to work very well. Next, I'll use a 200 grit, and this will refine the edge of the cup. There is some very light chipping from the 200 grit, but it works fairly well. For the final hand sanding step, I prefer using these 2 sandpaper holders. I have a 6-inch random orbital sander, so that's the size these are. This works well for sanding on the inside of the cup. This works well on the outside and the top lip. I have 180 grit sandpaper. I prefer 3M Cubitron, but any decent quality sandpaper will do. And really this step is just to smooth it out. With glass, any sharp edges or chips are more likely to chip some more, so you want to smooth them out. This is how it should look when you're done. The entire rim should be sanded, so there should be no cracked glass, and there should be very minimal, if any, chipping around the edge. Again, any chips make it more susceptible to cracking later, since these were never intended to be cups. When it looks like this, we've had some of these last quite a while. There's some from 2017. That would be 7 years ago, and they still work perfectly. And I also save the tops for quick little side projects. I'll take it over to the wood lathe and make little candle holders. Then this will act as a decorative topper. Now that all of these made it and we're finished, we can clean them up. The goo left over from the label, I'll take a little bit of mineral spirits and a shop towel, and that will come right off. There we go. And we'll do this side. Now it is cleaned, cut, sanded, just need a nice rinse and it's ready to use. And there we go. 6 new cups from 8 bottles. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. That is a collection of all my tips and tricks for making wine bottle cups. And yeah, as always, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.